thanks for clicking on this video. My name is Danielle, and today I'm going to be talking all about my experience on a drug called isotretinoin, more commonly referred to as Accutane. I know there are a ton of videos out on the internet where people talk about their experience being on Accutane. I know this because I think I watched almost every single one. I'm choosing to share my story today because I feel like there are a couple things that make my experience unique. So the first thing is that I did not have very severe cystic acne. Most people that go on Accutane tend to have cystic acne that is very severe, and that was not my case. I actually had fairly mild to moderate acne, but it was very, very persistent. I didn't even know that Accutane was an option for me for most of my life because I didn't think that my acne was severe enough to qualify for the drug. The second reason why I want to share my story is because I was on Accutane for a very long time. For probably the first 6 or 7 months, I wasn't even sure if the drug was working for me. But as you can see, Accutane has worked for me. I have been off of the drug for almost 2 full months, and my skin is the best that it has ever looked. I am so glad that I made the decision to go on it. Before I get into the video, I just want to add a quick disclaimer. Everything that I'm about to say is just my personal experience with Accutane. Everybody's experience is different, and that's why I think it is so important to do your research and get many different perspectives before making a decision. So let's get into my story. So I started getting acne when I was about 12 or 13 years old. I started going to a dermatologist around this time, like 7th grade. Ever since then, my skin has been on this really predictable pattern. I would go to the dermatologist, get prescribed a topical medication or antibiotic or oral pill to help with my acne, and my acne would get better. But then about 6 months later, it always seemed like my skin, I don't know if it was building up tolerance to the drug, but it would always come back. So I'd have these periods where my skin was pretty good, and then it would be bad again. And that lasted all throughout high school. So I went to 4 years of undergrad and then 1 more year with a master's degree. My first few years of college, my skin wasn't too bad. Those later years, I was under a lot more stress. Around that time, 2018, 2019, is when my skin started to really flare up again. I was getting to the point where my acne was becoming adult acne, and that was very frustrating for me. I have tried everything, all the over-the-counter products, all the prescription medications my dermatologist gave me. I was using everything religiously. I would never go to bed without taking off my makeup or washing my face. If you are a chronic acne sufferer, you know that sometimes you can be doing everything right to keep your skin clear and it still just doesn't work. It was extremely frustrating. I just remember waking up every morning, the first thing that I would want to do is check my face to see if I had a new pimple on it. It did take a toll on my confidence. At this point, I'm becoming an adult and I wanted to be taken seriously. I'm no longer living in my hometown, I'm living in my college town, and so I decided to see a new dermatologist. So he gave me 2 options. Option 1 was that I go back on some of the drugs that I used as a teenager, and we could see if those worked now. He suspected that my skin would probably get better for about 6 months and then start to decline again, like it always has. Or we could look into Accutane. I guess I was excited because there was a new option for me to try out, but I was also really terrified. First of all, there's the side effects that everybody talks about. So extremely dry skin, headaches, cracked, bleeding lips. You have to be very careful that your liver is functioning properly while you're on the drug. There's a lot out there that talks about mental health and being on Accutane and how it could affect your mental health. Again, I did a lot of research. I read Reddit threads on Accutane. I watched so many videos. I was just trying to get as much information as I could get. I always felt like I would regret it if I didn't at least try it out. On June 25th of last year, I started Accutane, and I was on 40 milligrams. My skin had proved to be extremely sensitive over the years, so I was super worried about the side effects. And thank goodness we didn't start at a higher dose because it was a rough road. So it's like day 11 of Accutane, and today's really the first day that I felt like it's affecting me. My skin has been purging a lot. As you can see, I'm so terrible at not picking my skin. The main thing that's bothering me right now is this cold sore under my nose. I get those in the winter sometimes, but not in the summer. I feel like it has to be from the dryness. I just finished taking my pill for day 20. My biggest problem area, just a lot of bumps under the skin. And they're all clustered up right there. It is day 27. Of course, you already know I have a lot of spots here. I do think it's getting a bit better though. Woke up with a cold sore. Hurts pretty bad. Getting a little nervous. Like, what if this Accutane isn't working? Like, up until this point, I was like, well, it's not worse, really, but it's not better. But now I'm like, it's getting worse, and it's already been almost a month. So I went into the dermatologist thinking he would probably say, oh, it's gotta get worse before it gets better. Like, your body's purging, let's up the dosage and make this process go faster. But that's not what he said. He said, oh, wow, your skin is not really liking the Accutane. I'm gonna have more breakouts than normal. Like, I've never had a cluster like this, and I've never had like cystic acne like this. So he said that my body just needs a little bit of time to get used to the drug. So he kept me at the same dosage, which is 40 milligrams once a day. And then he also prescribed me a steroid, and that's supposed to kind of help my skin like calm down a little bit. It is day 4 of month 2. So I do think the steroid is working. Day 10 of month 2. I thought this was getting better. And I think it cleared up as I started to take the steroid. But now as I'm tapering off the steroid, it's bad again. It's not as cystic, but there's still a lot of little bumps. I think it's day 16 on month 2, and I'm feeling pretty frustrated with my skin right now. As you can see, I've got all of these new whiteheads popping up on my cheeks, which during the first month I kind of had a purging in this area, and then things were good for a while. But now they're back, which I just don't think is a good sign. Before Accutane, I never had all of these down here. So that's frustrating to get something new that I've never had before. So it is day 19 of month 2, and I just really have not been motivated at all to film because I'm just generally frustrated with my skin. All of these whiteheads are new, and I feel like things like this, they came and they cleared up, and now they're coming back. I'm feeling kind of defeated right now. As you can see, those first couple months, my skin was purging and reacting badly to the drug. My skin was the worst that it had ever been. I was worried that maybe it wasn't working. I was worried that I made a huge mistake. Maybe I should just get off of this drug, but then I was worried that my skin would come back even worse than ever before. And I was just kind of in a bad place. I felt like things were not moving along the way that my doctor told me they would be. At around month 3, I was getting ready to start my new job, and I remember before I went on Accutane, my doctor said, you know, this summer might be a little rough, your skin might purge, but by the time you start your new job here in August or September, your skin's gonna be clear, you're gonna be, you know, on the mend, and I think you're gonna really be happy. That's not what happened, you know. I don't blame him. He couldn't have expected all of this to go on, but it was tough starting my new job with the worst skin I had ever had. The things did not go according to plan. This is when I stopped filming because I was just discouraged. You know, I didn't want to pull out the camera and have to look at my face, and it was just becoming the same old thing of me showing my acne, saying that things weren't getting better. I'll never know unless I try. I need to see this whole process through and work with the dermatologist. You know, he had hope that things were going to turn around for me, so I was just holding on to that hope. From the end of August until the middle of December, I did not film a single clip. Finally, around the 6-month mark, my skin started to do a bit better, meaning that it wasn't completely flaring up, going crazy. So I was able to up my dosage to 60 milligrams a day. When you start on Accutane, they calculate your ideal dosage based on your weight. And I was originally supposed to just be on a 6-month round of Accutane. So 6 months in, I was looking and we were nowhere near that ideal dose. I think mentally for me, I needed to just kind of block this whole skin thing out of my mind. It was my first year in a new job. It was stressful. The first few months it was tough to vlog about my skin and think about my skin all the time. So I think that was something I just kind of put on the back burner because I didn't feel like I could emotionally handle it. I wish I could come on and tell you the exact month, exact day that things got better, but I don't know. It was sort of like one day I just woke up and was like, wow, I haven't had a new breakout in like a week. It took a very long time to get there. I don't even really think about my acne anymore, which is insane to me because it used to be the first thing I thought about when I woke up in the morning. And then my nighttime routine was so long. One night I actually went into my bathroom and got a makeup remover wipe and started to take off my face makeup. And then I realized that I didn't have anything on. If a year ago you would have told me that my skin looked so good that I thought I had foundation on when I really didn't, I would have never believed you. I think that the confidence I've gained through this experience will actually help me if I do ever struggle with my skin again. I know that this might be like a lifelong journey for me, but I'm just trying to enjoy the moment and be really happy with the skin I have right now. I think that's everything that I wanted to share about my journey today. If you made it this far in the video, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope that maybe you learned something new or gained a new perspective from watching this video. If you are thinking about going on Accutane, I wish you the best in making that decision. If you are currently going through it on Accutane, I promise you that it will get better. Let me know if you have any other questions in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer them. Consider giving a like to this video if you enjoyed it or subscribing to stick around for more content on my channel. Bye!